Really Charlie Podcast, a weekly show with the one person to make you say, "Really, Charlie?" on the Really Charlie Podcast. Tune in. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, a weekly show with the one person to make you say, "Really, Charlie?" on the Really Charlie Podcast. Tune in. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast.
Hey, welcome to Fentanyl Facts and Stories. This is Charlie Perry. I'm going to play a video. Paula and I will be on right at 7:30, but I like to play this video from Texas Pictures Documentaries on YouTube, and it's just a quick story, just so you listen. It talks about fentanyl, and real important. I like to add these videos to the podcast. It's true stories, and I love true stories, and it's the best educator. All right, just bear with me while we play this video.
We see roughly 1 to 2 a day. We're at 599 overdoses. My last presentation I did, which was about a month and a half ago. Now, that's kind of skewed because it could be alcohol, it could be, cocaine, it could be multiple drugs. It is not just fentanyl. But the way we can deviate it is we use Narcan, and we had a reaction to Narcan. We know if there's an opiate present by that. Now, do we know if it's fentanyl? We don't, but we can suspect it's more than likely fentanyl. But Christmas Day, my first call Christmas Day was a double overdose, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Your call notes realized 2 patients unresponsive.
It was about 10:20. We just finished breakfast at the station and came in as 2 subjects down.
Possibly one is responding to the caller. The other one she's more worried about.
2 copies. So there's 2 patients. Go ahead and start the second box.
Copy.
Got on scene, and we were working 2 sisters who were on the ground, supine, opposite of each other. And that's how we started our Christmas morning at the fire station. But that was also the 3rd overdose within 20 minutes, Christmas morning, this year, or 2023.
22 dispatch. Go ahead and start me another pumper. We're going to be possibly 2 cardiac arrest.
Copy.
1 pass. One succumbed to the overdose on scene. We were able to transport the other.
It is that easy to make good beats with this kid.
So we've had a program that we started leaving Narcan on scene. I know First Call out of Kansas City, Missouri has made a big initiative to show up at any event that we do at the schools or some of the symposiums that we've done at the community events. They're always present with Narcan. I know our health department has made Narcan readily available to anybody who wants it. It takes 7 to 8 times for them to realize they need help. And we might not be there the 7th time, but hopefully that Narcan's there. Now within the fire side, I do a lot of our presentations for fentanyl. When asked, I'm typically the first one who does them, just because I've done them for the last couple of years. I am trying to teach someone else, just because the load is becoming quite intense when you've got 2 schools a week at some points that want presentations, and you're doing presentations for kids and families and parents in the evening. So that's typically in the daytime. We'll do a presentation for the middle school or high school students. We'll break them in by class. We try to keep it between 100 to 200 kids. And then in the evening, we'll do their parents, grandparents, or anybody in the community that wants to know. And then if it's not within our community, I'm always trying to invite their local fire, police, EMS, their community members who are important within that event, and also the DEA and the their health departments are typically present outside of our county if I show up. I work with our captain of narcotics. He's our DEA task force leader. If I make a phone call today, he'll be with me at a presentation tomorrow. Him and I have tag teamed quite a bit of presentations. I've had nothing but 100% support from the DEA. One of the leading forces in fentanyl awareness and everything, in my opinion, is Dr. Christina Baxter. I sat in her class and I realized the epidemic that was starting on the East Coast. And I told my captain at that point, and he was with me, and I said, this is going to happen in Kansas City. So just give it time. And we went back the next year. And that class, I went to that class again, and it turned into an 8-hour DEA drug class, nothing but fentanyl and different narcotics. And I took that presentation back and started teaching it to our fire department and to fire departments around the metro, demystifying the facts of fentanyl and of how it will not, if you touch it, you're not gonna pass. It actually, you'd have to lay in a bathtub covered head to toe for 2 hours and 30 minutes before you actually have an effect that would actually kill you. So I was out demystifying all that, and that was Dr. Baxter's course that we took from Baltimore. So we were out spreading it to our local departments who couldn't attend the conference. And from that point forward, someone asked if I could do it for a school. And I said, well, yeah, I said, this might be a little, over their head. So I kind of retailored it. My wife's she was an educator for 14 years. So I talked to her, and I did a middle school and high school. And then from there, the schools around that school started to reach out. And before I knew it, I was in 10 to 15 different schools across the metro. The kids know about the drug trade and the drug industry. It's the parents that are in the dark. But the more touches that we can have, it's the better I feel. Because if I make an impact on one person, I know I did my job. And knowing that we've done over 10,000, I'm hoping it affected one of them. And that to me is more important than going to class or anything. Is if I get to one person. And now I've walked in a few schools. I've came back. My kid Russell's. I get to go to a couple of these schools, and one of the kids came up to me and said, "Hey, you're the fentanyl guy." I said, "Yeah," in a positive way. But with the DEA's initiative of one pill can kill, there's 3 groups. You have your habitual user, your accidental user, and then someone who has they're unsuspected at all, a fire if we end up, walking to a scene. So, and since I'm hitting all 3 of those groups now and giving them the awareness, that's what's important to me. I'm a parent myself, and I think the thing is there's so many unknowns in fentanyl. It's so many different pills they're lacing it with. And the thing I tell my kids is I don't even take a pill from another parent, because if I don't know where that pill came from, if I didn't break the seal myself, because how many times have you seen people put mixed pills in their bottles? And they do it all the time. My mother did it as a kid. She still does it to this day. Or where are they getting their pills from? If you physically or do not know where that pill came from, you can't trust it. And that's the main thing I think when I try to relay to parents, that one pill can kill, although the kid may think it's a Tylenol. And we've had overdoses that way. Or they thought it was a hydrocodone, and they thought it was literally a pain med. They weren't trying to, it was for back pain or for, they had a broken bone and they ran out of their pain meds. So I'll go get an extra one. And it was truly an accident. There was no habitual user there. There was no illicit use. It was literally a pill, and they got from a friend, and they overdosed. One of the most powerful presentations I did was my first presentation. And that was because I walked in, I was asked to do for this school, and the guy sitting next to me was my assistant chief, and knew he was going to speak at the end. I had no idea what he was going to speak about. And I was next to this guy, for weeks, he was the hazmat chief. And then at the very end of the presentation, when he speaks, and he gave a 5-minute presentation, maybe 10 minutes, and it was about his son who passed a year prior to an overdose when he was in a bar in Kansas City and took a pill that someone gave him, when I'd had no idea that even affected the guy that asked me to do the presentation. He kept it that closed in. And that's when I realized it didn't happen to anybody. And I always start my presentations off. I'm the doom and gloom guy. I try to get the scare tactic. And I started off, and I always tell the kids or parents, we've had a couple of our guys, one of our guys has passed away from a fentanyl overdose. A couple of our guys' kids have passed away from or not passed away, but we've helped bring back from a fentanyl overdose. So it's not like it's the tweaker drug you see on the street. It affects everybody.
Hey, Ryan.
All right. Man, crazy story. And that's why I use Texas Pictures documentary. And there it is, just below my chin on the screen. You can find Texas Pictures documentaries on YouTube. It'll be youtube.com /@ Texas Pictures. Great stories, sad stories, tragic stories. But it hits the point, right? Sometimes you need real people to talk to you and give you real stories. And that's what Texas Pictures documentaries does for me. And so I always want to try to get that on before we actually start the podcast, just so as everyone's in waiting. And I just like to start it off. It's kind of an icebreaker, right? It's very good stories. And I just think that you know I can't get any better than that. So Paula's just will be here momentarily. She's has a bunch of meetings. She's constantly moving, and everything pertains to fentanyl and being a strong advocate for the education of fentanyl, opioids, and its dangers. So when she's doing something, I always tell her, do your thing. No worries. No worries whatsoever. You'll get it. Right. And so that's why I always tell her, don't worry. What's going on, Jack? Nice to see you. I also have Facebook user, which I believe is Christy. If you're showing up Facebook user, you got to give StreamYard permission, and your name will show up, which I think is very important, right? And it's very important, and because we can kind of tell stories, relate to it. If let me see. All right, Christy, this when you sign on, you're supposed to. It's hard for me because I'm on this side. But you ask permission. It will ask permission, or do you want to sign on with Facebook? And I'll have to figure that out. I can't do it right now. But it does ask you if you want to sign on as Facebook and with Facebook, and so. But let me see. But I appreciate the support. We are broadcasting from Facebook Live, also on YouTube. We're on the Fentanyl Facts and Stories page that is on here. I encourage everyone to join that, because there's some information that's out, given on that page from other members on it. So come on, join the group here on Facebook. That's Fentanyl Facts and Stories. I'm the administrator of that page, so if you need me to invite you to that, just put something in the comment to invite you, and then I'll see it, and then I'll make sure that I do it after the podcast. So that was a firefighter, right? And you see he's going to different schools, and thanks, Jack. I appreciate it. Try to get all this out there, right? So that was a firefighter, and he's out there in Texas, and he experienced many things, and he has he has a responsibility, right, from the job that he has, and he took an oath to do things during his shift, right, and now he's become such a strong voice that now he's actually going into schools and speaking about it. um, for everyone out there that that doesn't see or hear this thing in your school district, you need to speak to some people, school board members, school committee members, um, and get this on the table, where they can have some kind of instruction in an auditorium, have orientation, where speakers come in and talk about fentanyl, right? It's real important because we all know kids that are out there and they're trying different things, right? Or they get victimized at a party, someone telling someone to take it, peer pressure. Peer pressure gets to some kids and they end up trying something and it becomes a life story. Some people do recover and get out of it, and but some don't, and it becomes a lifetime thing of their life, their story. um so it's very important that we have um that we talk about these things, right? Talk about pills. You notice that he said just don't take anything from anybody, not even your neighbors, right? um I would wait, hold off, go to the store, get something over the counter, do whatever you can, call the doctors. Any physician's going to want to see that when you just mention that they took something, one of the things they're going to say is go to the emergency room, right? And if you're at the emergency room, you're going to get something that you need to save your life. So it's all over the place. There's stories right here within my own community and your own also. No matter where you are in this country of ours, in this world of ours, when it comes to fentanyl and opioids, it's reaching everywhere. It's like the air we breathe. It's everywhere. So don't think that you can escape it, and and don't think that it's just something that's a common thing. People are dying, you know, 300 plus a day. I believe Paula said 305 now. Um, the firefighter mentioned about 500 and something, but of different types of things, not just fentanyl. And it's so important that we actually keep talking about this, right? Keep talking about it. Okay, where you're at, in the coffee shop, right? Or, in a park, or you're hanging out, maybe in a doctor's office, just kind of mention it, right? Talk about this. If as we all have conversations, one-on-one conversations, you never know who we're educating. In fact, they may even educate you. Remember, he mentioned about his boss, and his boss came up and he spoke and he said something, and he talked about the loss of his child, and he was unaware of it. And he was unaware of it because you know what? Sometimes there's no communications in the workplace. People just go about their business, get told what to do, and they do it for 8 hours or forever, how long they're at the job. They just do it, and then like two subways passing in the night, on the tracks, boom, 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 boom. Hi, goodbye, good night, but have a conversation. It's so important, so important. Um, I want to also bring up some things. There's some important news here that I have for y'all. That's going on in the city, in the community. Um, Let me just put this flyer up here. A couple of blood drives going on this coming weekend. It's very, very important because it's people associated with the community. But it doesn't always have to be my community. It could be pretty much anywhere. Everyone needs blood, so I highly, strongly encourage people to do what they can. If you can donate blood, do it. All right. This is Reggae on West Beach presents Not Your Average Blood Drive, partnered with our sister school in Tiferneth Israel congregation. Music provided by DJ Frankie Ryman. All scheduled blood donors will receive 2 raffle tickets. All walk-in donors will receive 1 raffle ticket. Can't donate blood? No problem. Bring us any prom dress, suit, or prom accessory for 1 raffle ticket. All prom items will be donated to the Beyond House. Bring us your plastic Easter eggs and receive a raffle ticket. Local info tables and vendors will be in attendance. The date is April 7th, 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Free door raffle ticket to all who donate. Register online, and also the address of the location is 145 Brownell Avenue, New Bedford, Massachusetts. And find Reggae on West Beach. Sorry, Reggae on West Beach. All right, great event, here during the summer months, and they have some great shows. And so, very important. That's announcement number 1. Announcement number 2 is help our friend Marisol find a kidney. Hello, my name is Marisol Carrion, a resident and community member of New Bedford. I need a kidney. My blood type is 0 plus or 0 positive. All blood types are needed and can help through the exchange program called Karen Curry, I believe that is, an RN, transplant clinician or clinical administrator at Boston Medical Center. Her number is 617-638-8368. Second number is 617-638-8430. All right. So that's the second announcement. And the third announcement is very similar. Okay. And here we go. It says, help our Dejan find a kidney. Hello, my name is Dejan Colby. I was born on August 21st, 1993. I need a kidney. My blood is type 0 negative, right? It says complete the online health history questionnaire. To complete the online health history questionnaire, visit www.livingdonortufts.org. Once you have completed the online form, your information will be reviewed by a living donor coordinator. If you are a possible candidate, you will be contacted. If you have questions at any time, you can contact a living donor team member at Donate a Kidney, tuftsmedicalcenter.org. And that says, thank you in advance for your generosity. Visit www.livingdonortufts.org. All right. That's www.livingdonortufts.org. Dejan Colby. All right. So it's real important. All right. As we have these community connections, right? That's what I call them, community connections. And that's what the Really Charlie podcast is going to do, is Just kind of have those connections. And let's see what I got here. I think I got a video here. There we go. Really Charlie Podcast. It's time for Community Connections 2024. Right? And as you see down on the bottom is my website. And there it is. Let's put it up there again. It's at reallycharlie.podup.com. Reallycharlie podup.com. All right. And it's a nice little website. I got a few things on there, some videos, some educational things, and awesome. Can't get enough of that. Thinking of Hot Wheels. All right. So I'm just doing my thing here, Got a let's see. Any comments? Let's check them out. Any comments here? Got my boy Jack there, still there. All right, Christy, you're still there. Appreciate it. All right. So this is what podcasting is about, right? Sharing some education. Yesterday I was on with Waleem, the funky professor. We were just doing our thing and talking about poetic conversations. And to next month, we are going to talk about some things, thumping soul music, and we're going to get into that, give you a little education about that. So that would be next month's show with myself and the funky professor. This is so I like doing podcasting. I could do this every single day, So if you feel like you want to talk about something, the trending news that's out there. I got contacted by a friend of mine today, and there's going to be a new football team in the area. So if you're an adult, and you want to play some football, we got a team coming to the area looking for some players, right? So that's going to be coming up. And then on April 20th, we got Donald Garrison, 41-year veteran of the U.S. Navy and U.S. Army, right? Did many things. He's a star now. He's also playing he had a role in in a movie that's being shot, right now in production, and it's in regards to the Triple Nickels, which is a paratrooper group, of black men that were fighting a war. I believe it was World War II, and so our own New Bedford, Massachusetts own Donald Garrison will be on April 20th to give us some stories that he experienced. And his story was basically came to me through another story that we talked about, and that was David Gonzalez, the first Cape Verdean Blue Angel. And then, friends of mine, family of mine reached out and wanted to tell Donald's story, right? Also. So each story kind of inspires or moves and gets, produces another show, another podcast, right? And that's very, very important because we're trying to give you your flowers while you're standing. And that's what I've been trying to do since 2020. And here we are in 2024, and we're still doing the same thing. Also, we have something coming up where the Really Charlie Podcast Sunshine Award is going to be given out. We selected a recipient, and that's going to be happening soon. Once everything's all squared away and done, I can go get the award, and then we can definitely do something live and kind of present that recipient her award. And the Sunshine Award is very important because it gives someone an award, and coming from my heart, and that someone, that recipient, is always engaging with people and trying to make them shine, always trying to make others shine in everything they do. And so that's why I give out the award. It's not something that's just kind of fluffed off lightly and it just goes to anybody. I'm not doing that. This is some genuine people, that done some outstanding things for many years. Uh, I also selected this year, next year's recipient, because it was something that I didn't want to give it to two people at the same year. I want someone to share, or to cherish that moment. To It's an award, and 2024 is going to be someone's. 2023 was someone's, and 2022 was someone's. So I want to make sure that every year that someone is, awarded that award, and gets to cherish it, um, all by themselves. But 2025, that's already been selected, which makes my job a whole lot easier, right? Yeah, it is awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Comments. I love them. Just makes me smile, especially the people they come from, and that's you. All right. So we I want to, also, let me see. I got a bunch of books up here, right behind me, and these books are from a lot of my guests, right? So this book is going to be, this is my book, but this book right here by Miss Diane Langford James, amazing book, right? So, she gave me a few of them, and I'm going to award them to different people. And one of them was you, young lady, that's on the screen, and that's Christy. Christy, you have been awarded this book, and I will make sure I get it in the mail. I know we talked about it, but I wanted to let you know that, you're a winner of one of these books, and it's Finding Redemption on the Road to Recovery. And it just talks about many things. You know, look at this title, right? It says Teen Years Finding My Passion. And the quote of it comes from Michelle Obama in Becoming. It said, "Failure is a feeling long before it becomes an actual result." I'll repeat that. Failure is a feeling long before it becomes an actual result. Crazy. Um, so many different quotes in each chapter, and it goes on and on. It talks about crossroads and changed my life forever. And a lot of you are going through that, right? A lot of you are going through that, and you are totally welcome. Just thank you, my friends. Yes, anytime. I miss you. Wish you were back home with us. Wish you were back home with us. But I get it. I totally understand why you got to do the things you do. Totally understand. Um, but look, we probably talk more now than we did when you were here, right? Talk a lot about different things, and, so, I'm just a message away, as I tell everybody. I'm just a message away, right? You come on, um, talk to, me, and we can just talk shop, right? Miss you too. The Like, there's one thing I want to, let me. It's off subject, right? It's off fentanyl. We are, if you're here, you understand the dangers of fentanyl and opioids, right? But I've been on YouTube, and been looking at different things about ancestry, and so I did the ancestry a few years back, several years back, and I keep in touch with, whoever's on there. Someone I didn't, some people I don't know, seen some people that I do know, and yeah, I'll always be there for you. Lifetime friends, right? The So I'm on Ancestry, and so Ancestry is amazing. So I try to keep in touch, try to find out what's going on, and I've been so entrenched in it. Every single day, I'm doing something, and it's real important to me, right? It's so important to me that there's a reason why we're on Ancestry, because we want to know what we don't know, right? We want to get educated about our bloodlines. We definitely want, it's a yearning, right? Ancestry.com is one of the biggest databases for one DNA. So if you're on there, chances are you're gonna get some better results than most. Now they're all good, but I just want to put that out there. And that's not a paid commercial because I'm not getting paid for nothing. Oh wait, I got a dime on my table here. No, I got 11 cents, right? 11 cents. So I am paid today 11 cents. So the so Ancestry has really got me going, and man, I really want to do a video, and but I gotta wait. I gotta wait. Really do. Ancestry is just amazing. So anyone, do you want to talk about something? Anything you want to talk about? We'll probably do this for another 15, 20 minutes, but if there's anything you want to talk about, feel free. Add in the comments, a question. I will gladly talk about it. It could be anything, anything. This is our show, right? You're here, I'm here, so we're gonna make it our show. And so if there's anything you want to talk about, and remember this very important number. I'll bring it up here, right? Gonna bring it up here. Also, feel free if you ever want to call in. We do have a number here, right? We do have a number assigned to this podcast and all my podcasts. So you can call in, right? That's the number. Really Charlie Podcast on Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. Do you have a fentanyl story? Call in at 508-492-2823. And that's a number where you can I can be reached, and we can talk. I'll put you on speaker, and we'll do what we can. Come to Florida and visit. Yes, hey, you know what? Is talk about me going to Florida in November, right? With a bunch of cousins and my brother. And so I'm thinking about doing that in November. It's gonna mess up my employee incentive, get $100 for being there every single day of the month. But I'll break it up. I'll end that streak, right? We're gonna go in the Orlando area. All right. So, but a rent-a-car is a rent-a-car, It can go, it can travel. As you know, I'm not afraid to drive. So, all right. Let's see. So, a lot of things are getting trending out there, trending. I mentioned something 2 hours away, 2 hours. That's a piece of cake, right? But we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you informed what's going on. And even if we can just meet halfway, right? But no problem. So we have we've been getting trending news from a lot of things, the war in Gaza and the Gaza Strip. We also been getting stories of P. Diddy and all the stars getting tied up in all that stuff, um, between the sexcapades, I call them, right? Some things are criminal, but it's all over the place. Every other video on YouTube's talking about it, right? Look, I'm talking about it now. But it's amazing how these stars are getting caught up with these things, and it's like they believe that they live in their own world, right? They believe that they are untouchable. All the money in the world doesn't make you untouchable. You may escape a lot of things, but you're not going to be untouchable. Eventually, karma comes around, right? We seen it in everything. Seen in the presidential race, right? If you do something, chances are you're going to get caught. Yes, money is evil. So, but P. Diddy got a lot of money. He's a millionaire, probably pretty close to a billionaire, I don't know. But there's also talk with other people, other famous people involved in it. It's getting crazy. People don't know how to spend their money and just be law abiding people. You don't always have to break the law throwing a party. You don't always have to do things or make people do things to get your way. So it's crazy. The so I think my man Joshua Davis, he wanted to talk about it yesterday, but we didn't have too much time and on the podcast, so I'm gonna have to set up a time where I can kind of open that conversation so we can talk about it and just kind of go with the flow, Um, One of the things we mentioned yesterday's podcast was let me see if I got a flyer on it. Was the listen and play shows that are coming up. Um, and let's see if I got a flyer here. I believe Wileen gave me a flyer. And no, I don't see it. All right. But I'm going to MC two events, May 16th and May 17th, downtown New Bedford. And we're going to have, Wampatronics going to be doing their thing, listen and play with the new album and kind of bringing the album to the community first. And so they're going to be doing some things, and I can't wait. So I'm trying to stay involved with many, many things, get myself involved in things. And one of the things I'm involved in is Writer We RX University, right? If you're a publisher, right? Publish author. You have 14 days. You can enter a 6th annual Writer We RX University Novel Opening Contest. Submit your first 1,000 words of your published book in any genre to complete for cash and free book development services for your next project. Enter now at that's winitright.com. All right. Amazing. All right. They're going to be doing a few things. I have 2 new books, and I'm going to put them both on Audible, and I'm going to do a few things. So these new books are going to be nice. And I highly recommend if you support Charlie Perry, aka A Poetic Pouts, you will love these 2 next books that are coming up, right? Writer We RX also help you and give you an online review. All right, you go to getbookhelp.com, put in the code word Charlie, like my name, Charlie, and you will get, you would definitely check this out. You want some help with your book, check that out, right? Also have audio transcription. And you go to the same website, getbookhelp.com. This is all through the Writer We RX University, right? A lot of services provided to you. So if you're an author and you want to get started with some things, right? Like book design, they would do beautify your book interior, get a layout that complements the tone of your book and in your content and everything. So check that out. Just remember the code word, Charlie, right? Charlie. Publish authors only. 5 days left. 5 days left. You want to winitright.com, right? Check that out. And don't forget the news about Dijon. And like I said, Dijon Covey need a kidney transplant. I also have Miss Carrion. That would be Marisol Carrion. Please, please do the best you can. Help out your community. Help out your friends. Help out a neighbor, right? And they have a blood drive, right? Not your average blood drive presented to you by Reggae on West Beach and also partnered with our sister schools in the Tiferneth Israel congregation. That's April 7th, 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Music, raffles, and that's going to be at 145 Brownell Ave, New Bedford, Massachusetts, along the west side of Buttonwood Park in New Bedford. All right. Well, my friends, it is 47 minutes into our podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the video by Texas Pictures Documentaries. Definitely like and subscribe their channel, and also like and subscribe to Really Charlie channel on YouTube. And that way you will get notifications about all our shows. We are on YouTube right now. So thank you for joining us. This will be on Spotify momentarily once I bring it downstairs and download it to Spotify. And that channel is the Really Charlie podcast channel on Spotify. Don't forget, we have a new website on PodUp. That's POD up.com. Look for Really Charlie, and you will see my website. Different things, videos, I'm trying to download many of the videos that we have. And feel free to check it out, and then add something in the comments throughout the week. And thank you. You have a good night, my friend. You be safe. Also, you need me, you give me a call, send me a message. Definitely there for you if you need me. So thank you. I appreciate you all. I'm gonna go ahead and download this and watch the Celtics win, hopefully, and we'll go from there. How about the NCAA's men and women's basketball best years? This is the best year I've seen in a very long time for both sports. Men and women. Really enjoying it. Really love it, and can't wait. All right, y'all. Thank you. Join me on Tuesday, Really Charlie Podcast. Join me on Wednesdays, Fentanyl Facts and Stories. And on Wednesdays with Paula Young, 7:30. Feel free to come and chime in. You have a story you want to tell, we will invite you to the screen. We also have the bottom, racing down on the bottom line, 508-492-2823. All right. So we got it. I'm trying to make it easy for you. Come and join me. Come have a conversation. I know I said good night a few minutes ago, but as I see things, I have to mention it. All right. And once a month, my man Waleem comes on, the Funky Professor. He is definitely, and we have poetic conversations. I got to start reciting some poetry right on here. My own voice. Do that. Got to do that, right? get myself out there. You all know I'm a poet, and I do know it. All right, God bless. Let me play this song. Now, check this out, right? This is a friend of mine, but he does this. There's not too many people that do it like Marvin Gaye, right? October London's doing it like Marvin Gaye. But this Distant Lover, man, this song is amazing. And my man is doing it. All right, Chops Turner, I hear you. I hear you every day, man. This is Chops Turner.
Distant lover, 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 lover. Ooh, so many miles.